How are you guys doing today? We wanted to talk about a great topic we think is very fitting for the moment and what's going on with everything.
There's a lot going on right now. What we wanted to talk about is choosing love.
Yeah. I think it's an important topic, and I think it's also a good reminder for people that a lot of times these are choices. Like the actions we take, the decisions, the way we react to people, that's all a choice. So we can choose to choose love or choose violence or anger or aggression. And so sometimes you have to realize what choices you're making and why, and that'll help guide your actions and the way you treat in the world.
And it's a topic that is close to our hearts, our worldview,
Yeah.
something that we strive to do on a daily basis. It is related to everyone's health.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think for us, part of choosing love is what drew me into medicine, like wanting to help take care of people, choosing to be there for others, trying to help them through their health issues, and choosing to be empathetic, to be able to be there. And I think that's a big part of that worldview that guides us, that also
That's really
colors everything.
beautiful, babe. You wanted to dedicate to a life of service.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's part of it. Like I find the value in it. Like I feel good being able to help people use the knowledge that I've built up over the years to try to guide them, whether when I was doing like primary care or more what we're doing now or any of it. It's like we work hard, but like you gain this knowledge, but like you have to be able to help people. And part of that is expressing it. And some of it's how we communicate, some of it's the questions we ask, the way we put it, but then some of it's just a choice to like want to, choose love, choose kindness, choose empathy.
Let's talk about kindness because sometimes, even in healthcare providers, they are in a state of burnout
Yeah.
post-pandemic. They're bearing witness to a lot of suffering, and not just suffering from illness, but suffering from not being able to feed their children and a safe place to stay. And
Yeah.
we're seeing that trickle down from top down. There's a lot of impact that healthcare workers are seeing on the front lines. And I think that it does cause a lot of burnout to the point where kindness is lost amongst one another, unfortunately. And so, how do we give ourselves grace within that? Let's talk about what it takes to be kind.
And I think some of that too, like you're saying, along with that burnout is fatigue. Like the more exhausted you are, the harder it is to take the little extra effort to be thoughtful, be so from, like instead of even I know like at the end of a long shift when I was going in missions and stuff, okay, not just cut some off.
So, a lot of anger brewing.
Yeah,
With
frustration.
that fatigue, frustration, kindness, not us being weak.
Then,
It takes so much. There's you have to pause. Let's
yeah,
say if we were in a confrontation, I have to pause. I have
which
to
we're
be
never in
aware.
confrontation.
We never fight. Uh, we have to be aware.
Yeah,
We have to use our higher cortical function to think a little deeper and
yeah,
analyze and understand
yeah.
each other. So it takes a lot of emotional regulation, understanding. It's not it's not like, oh, the smart brain and the
No,
kind weak brain, which oftentimes not just in uh masculine toxic culture, but it exists in academia, sometimes in elite cultures. I do think that there
well,
is that setup.
I think part of it is some people find they think it comes off strong to be an asshole, and they think it comes off as a way to show dominance and strength. But like we were saying, I think kindness is harder because it takes more energy, it takes thought, it takes regular like the lazy,
Selflessness.
but selfless, but also even just like the lazy thing for me is to snap at you. I can be like, oh, you didn't see it. Like that's not smart. That's like the lazy, simple. Like "Ah, I have no energy. I'm just gonna say versus like
Yeah,
thinking like,
it's
oh,
more efficient.
but it's like, but thinking about,
But
like,
is it
okay, where
not
are you
long
coming
term?
from? Why didn't you see? Oh, okay, what's going on? Like, there's so many things that play into it that it takes more brain power to be kind. You have to be engaged, and it's like it is something, but I think it
It
makes
is
it
a
better.
cognitive
Yeah,
process. And the brain, so also the brain, I'm glad you mentioned the brain. The brain doesn't carry an emotion area, right? It's not that, okay, in one area lies your emotions, and another area lies your thoughts. The brain has different neuronal pathways and patterns, almost like a wire. And so um, the same goes for the structure of a brain between a man and a woman are the same.
Yeah.
There's not a female brain and a
Mm,
male brain. It's just that people, the wires work differently, and that's
yeah.
what really therapy is can we rewire our
Yeah.
brains to think differently and feel differently and impact one another differently? So I think it's important to
Well,
share that.
very much so. And then the other part is whatever parts of your brain you use more, those connections get stronger, that wiring gets thicker, that happens easier. So if I always choose to be angry, the anger, that parts of my brain will be more hardwired in and will work faster. So it's like that's why you have to actively choose to take a beat, to pause, to what is this person thinking? Why
Mm.
are they there? What am I missing? Even like, okay, this is my perspective. And all those things you rewire your brain, you are able to do that better. But initially, it is hard. Like even it's hard to be patient when you're frustrated and pissed off. It's hard to take that beat, but it's like when you make that choice, you see others respond better. I've seen in the workplace. So the one I always think of in like training and residency, a lot of times the medical team, more senior doctors and the interns and everyone work together. You're around each other. The tone you set
As a leader.
as the leader goes throughout. So me as a leader, I tried to always like, okay, both let me make it a little lighter. Let me joke a little bit because what we do is heavy and hard. Let me try to like buy my interns a cup of coffee and a muffin or something
Oh,
like
that's sweet.
it's a way, but when you set that tone, now suddenly they're nicer with each other. They're nicer to the med student. We're nicer.
You can
It
role model
role
that
model,
and
but
influence that
it's
in others.
those
You can
choices
bring out the best in others.
exactly, and it makes such a huge difference because suddenly now you feel less tired at the end of the day, or you feel fatigued, you feel energized, you feel benefit. And so those choices make a huge difference. Like,
I use sports as a way to teach myself emotional regulation
mm,
because a lot of in the heat of the moment you can feel competitive, you can feel anger, you can feel so many things.
ball the
So
flag.
I not only it's good exercise,
Yeah,
but also a way to be aware of my emotions and then is my emotions impacting my performance. That competitive feeling, I actually try to refocus that energy to the actual task when we play pickleball. Instead of being worried about who we're playing, I say, okay, we'll just keep your eyes on the ball
yeah,
because that's what counts.
yeah,
And so I'm training my mind to do that
yeah,
easier. I used to be competitive with you too. We known each other for so long. But now
yeah,
when you make a great shot, I'm so proud. And
yeah,
that changed over time.
yeah,
And what I realized is Ivy, don't be in a scarcity mindset. Like you being great doesn't make me bad, or me being great doesn't
yeah,
make we both can be great. And
yeah.
that's actually the goal.
Think so much of it too, like in playing games, you get in the heat of the moment. But like it for me, I felt like over time I've learned ways both like you're saying to better regulate myself, but then I've also seen that like if I get too emotional and like whether pumped up or down, it impacts how I'm doing whether with pickleball, with basketball, with soccer, with video games, like you get if it throws you off, then you don't do it your best. So I try to find ways to like regulate myself so I can be at the best I can because it makes a huge difference. Like, and you see it. And so for me, when I saw it, that's when I was like, okay, let me spend more time on it because it's easy to get pulled into the emotion and get frustrated, get angry, but it just, when you see that that makes you do worse, then what are we doing? What's the point?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think keeps people together?
I think you have to you find the happiness in those moments. You find the things that fill your cup, that bring you joy, that make you wanna keep doing these things. And so I know in our relationship, like I value you as a person, I value being around you. I feel better. I try to have these victories together, which you celebrate, go through the tough times together, you go through it, you find that meaning, that like inner joy for the other person. As you find that joy, you just try to keep doing it. So other people, even if you don't have someone specifically in your life, if you have the little things that can get you motivated, help you feel well, whether it's like, you know, doing well at things at work, getting a project completed early, being efficient, being told you did well. Those
It takes a lot of inner work.
Mhm,
It's if there's a lot of hatred that you have for
mhm.
others, it may just be a projection of hatred to
Yeah,
yourself. If you can love and accept yourself for who you are, and you can actually easily love and accept others and not judge,
yeah,
and I think that hatred diffuses in that way as
yeah.
well. Treat
There's so
others the way you want to be treated. Um, the next topic we have is selfishness. Do you have to be selfish to be successful?
the one thing I was thinking about also too, I think sometimes there's different ways of being selfish. And I think sometimes I've seen even I found that like by thinking of others and trying to make my environment around me better, it makes my life better. So in some ways I'm being selfish by thinking of others, by trying to be kind, but so it's like I the way society we normally say selfishness is like me, but the hell with everybody else. It's going to be all about me, and that's all that matters. And I think that leads to more negativity because even if you are able to move up in certain ways, I think
You lose
you lose a
others.
lot, and you sometimes you're not even going to enjoy it the same. But like there's a negativity that you can't wash that off. Like that's just baked into you now, and like that over time, those things can make a difference. It's like the people who like
You
can
lose
achieve
your
things.
identity with cruelty. You lose
Yeah,
your identity.
well, it's you lose the identity, and you also it it takes a part out of you. Like it's not like cost free. Like there's every time you do that, some part of you goes, and at a certain point, you may not be able to recover, or you may not be able to enjoy it. You may
Yeah.
not feel all the
And I
things you
think
put
with
in.
selfishness, it depends on how we're defining it. It is important to be mindful of your own needs and make decisions to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah.
That's a must. Like put on your oxygen
Yeah.
mask before saving somebody else.
Literally, I was thinking the same thing.
But it's also okay to go through life without feeling that you're perfect, right?
Yeah,
Through your imperfections, you're also doing for others or like dating
yeah.
and things, and that's okay.
I think
I always had an insecurity because I thought I would naturally give a lot of my energy and time to others. And I do make decisions based off of other people too, the people that I care about. And so this was an insecurity and feeling like, is this a weakness or is there something wrong with
yeah,
me? But I think the flip side, selfishness can be harmful. Like it
yeah,
can undermine how important genuine
yeah,
relationships are and connection is. Because if there's true, genuine relationships, have some compromise and sacrifice. We've almost tried to go around that by being transactional. But transaction also doesn't work. It takes away from the humanity and love, true connection. So those elements, those are positive things.
yeah,
And the positivity, I think, can bring sustainable success
yeah.
more than any individual selfishness.
A lot of it, we see that like when people are just so inwardly focused on yourself, you lose sight of things. So you may miss something around you that had you seen and you focus, or someone else helped you see, you would have been able to get to a higher place. Like I think there's ways of like, so part of the, sometimes if you want to go fast, go on your own. If you want to go far, go together.
Mm.
It's like that kind of thing where it's like it is easier for me to just do that.
They're changing the food pyramid. We should change that Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Self actualization actually takes people and
Well,
community.
and I think even so much of it, like, it's not one or the other. Like, you do need inward, you need to be able to look inward to grow, but you also need to realize that the world doesn't revolve around you.
Do.
A lot of times, we learn this at younger ages. Some people don't learn it at all. It is what it is. But it's like there's a big part of it that when you realize others' needs and you think of that, you feel fulfilled more too. Like
Yeah.
I feel more joy seeing your growth in your career and your successes. It's a different type than even I'll feel on my own. And it's like that sustainability of joy, you need a part of those, like
Yeah.
whether, and
And we haven't always had that. We've
yeah,
had A lot of downs. It's okay to have ego. I mean, that's part of being human. But do you recognize others' egos in relation to yours, and do you understand their story? Because I think there's something to be said about that. And like I agree, that's how we work on a sustained relationship. And I think
Mm,
what we have is pretty rare
yeah,
for so long. I try to understand you and see you. I feel like I do see you and praise and love you. And that part is endearing to me for you, but also to myself that I have the ability. I feel those feelings. It just makes me love myself more
yeah.
too and see some truth in the world, which we're both vulnerable.
Well, and I think it's such a big part of like this human existence. It's like whether, if you're able to have it with a partner, a significant other, whether it's with friendships, whether it's however you can, but it's like that it can be a really lonely place in the world if you don't have a community of some sort and a community you create yourself. So I think that and part of being a good member in a community is thinking for others. Like, when the town has sanitation workers who come to take out the trash because they know someone has to do this job and they hire to go do it, but it's like it's
They
for the
feel
betterment,
confidence.
but and it's for the betterment of everyone. It's like you have to, fix the roads. The town takes on the cost through taxes to fix the roads, but it helps everyone. So it's worth it to do these things. If I'm like, no, I don't want to give anyone, I'm just doing one, then I either have to pay for everything around that I have, or I'm taking from other people's energy. So it's like part of that being a good member of the community is sometimes asking people, hey, how's your day going? How are you feeling? What's going on?
On a day-to-day level, though, I think people think about power
Mm,
and
yeah,
confidence and maybe choosing love. Some people think that that's the opposite, or it takes away from power, it
mm,
takes away from confidence. And we know it actually does not, but
yeah.
it takes work to recognize that.
I think a lot of it is it's lazy to just be inward only. I'm gonna focus on myself because I'm gonna do what's I'm self love. There's a point where there's things there, but there's a lot of it where it's just laziness, which then hurts you in the long run because you lose
Or fear.
communities.
Or there can also be fear.
Yeah, but I'm saying a lot of that, like no, 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 me, that kind of things. It takes energy to think of others, to
Right.
try to put energy into others, to ask, like those things all take energy
But that energy, you also gain so
by
much.
far.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're just in the lazy, like I don't want to put that energy on. I'm gonna cancel. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna. Yes, initially you think you're making choices that are benefiting you. One, in the long run, it's hurting you, but also it's not like you're at a higher level of thinking, and you're not like, oh, I just created this thing where I'm going to,
Yeah.
only do what's in my own. But and just everyone can do that. It's a choice to,
Oh, every human has the ability and
yeah.
capacity to do that. Absolutely.
And so it's not like it's like, oh, that's smarter. It's just it's lazier. It's like the simple thing. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna get to that till we do preventative medicine to try to protect people from issues down the road that we know are there. This is the same thing. Being kind is a preventative medicine for the world that you are
Yeah.
putting in effort ahead of time to work on these things that later on will help protect from bigger problems from
It's
happening.
preventative health for yourself
Yeah,
too.
for yourself, for everyone. It's it
It helps the soul.
Yeah. No, it does, and it helps you feel better, and you may not realize it, but later on, those are the things that you hold on to. That's the part at the end of the day when you think back, like, "Well, what happened today?" You remember, "Oh, this moment we had, these things," that's what sticks with you, and those are the choosing love, choosing kindness, choosing to take that extra effort is worth it.
It helps mental health,
Yeah,
something that, we always talk about. So we want to speak truth to power.
right.
Choosing love is choosing wisely. And
Thank you for joining us in
thank
the
you
Dark
for
Zone.
joining us.
Let
I
us
hope
know
this was great.
anyone, if you have any questions, any ideas, please like, comment, subscribe, ask us questions, send us an email with questions,
Actually,
post.
since we don't monetize off of this, you actually don't need to subscribe. So we're gonna flip the script. You don't have to. You can just watch it. But do like it because then we're spreading the word.
And it lets us know what content people value. So the more comments, the more likes, the more things, we have an idea what people would want more, what else we could talk about, what we could do for it. So thank you all so much. Thank you for being here in the Doctor's Lounge. Also, let us know if you like this setup versus the other setup. We're trying some different things. So All right. Thank you again.
Bye.
Have a great night.